Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, know nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live as well tunes in the replay. This is the vault, episode 506. First of two trust don'ts, commingle funds. So we're definitely excited about doing this episode today. Look forward to doing this episode. Definitely hit the like and the subscribe. If you missed this as a live recording, hit the subscribe button as well. Hit the like button. Always appreciate everybody that listens in the replay and hits the like and the subscribe button. That definitely always boosts up the channel in the algorithm. So always appreciate that. Once again, this is the Vault, episode 506. First of two trust don'ts commingle funds. So this is one of those episodes we're doing for the people. You know, every we have a lot of episodes that are posted, and we're here to say that this is one of those episodes that trustees will get in the program and still almost have a hard time grasping. And so we're just gonna go over it in a live episode to go over it. So appreciate New York for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate New York for tuning in live, listening to replay. Hit the like and the subscribe button if you're not subscribed so you can get the pop-up episodes. Hit the like button. Definitely always appreciate that. So the first of two trust don'ts. This was an easy conversation to have because trustees come back for years. It's this first lesson you get, second lesson you get in trustee training. Oh man, you're giving out the goodies before we get into training. Well, it seems as though you gonna get it even after you got into training? You gonna get it 2 weeks after you got into training, or is it still gonna be me and my? So we're gonna talk about it, commingling of the funds. When we know what the funds are, separate from the funds of the person. But is there really a difference? Is there really an awareness of the difference between trust funds and personal funds? Are you using the trust funds for personal reasons? See, this is the question that we gotta ask. Oh man, how's it gonna buy these things for me? How's it gonna purchase these assets? Is it buying them for you personally? Or is the company buying company property? Commingle funds. Oh, trust Christian involved. You gotta go to the definition in the dictionary because that's really where the answers are always gonna be. I just can't take your word for it. Exactly. You can't just take the vault and trust Christian's word for it. This is an easy fix, ladies and gentlemen. This is an easy fix. Commingling of the funds, we're gonna easily go and go look it up in the dictionary. So we actually do have a Black's Law Dictionary present. Anybody that's listening live, feel free to type into the chat where you're listening in live or listening in a replay from. Feel free to type into the chat what Black's Law Dictionary you got, what Black's Law Dictionary you're utilizing, because we're going to easily break the word down, commingle. And then we can go what the fund is. That's just maybe some type of account. But are you commingling accounts? Do you have personal accounts that is cutting checks to? We're talking about the trust. We're talking about the company. They cutting checks to the personal account. See, this is where we like to have those conversations. Commingling other funds. Oh, don't make it oversimplistic. Won't you just read the definition for us, trust Christian in the vault? Here we go then. We're going to go get the definition. So right now, at this location, we're at an eighth edition Black's Law. And we're going to go ahead and jump into how to go ahead and solve this conundrum of what's the commingling of the funds, trust Christian in the vault? How we know we commingling? You know when you commingling. But they ask these questions. Why? Because they're commingling. And how do you get around that? Well, it comes from a knowledge base of knowing how not to do it. And how not to do it is to keep everything separate. There is no personal in business. So when you address it that way, it gets addressed that way. It's the form and the substance. There's many things that fall in line, but one of them's got to be your form and your substance. Are you a trustee or are you a personal? That's what happens. They say, "Oh man, am I doing this in a personal capacity or business capacity?" You let us know that. We already are aware of what most people say because of the way you speak. Most people, and they're in the public, are they speaking properly? Maybe not. And for that reason, there's not a lot of wiggle room. What wiggle room do you get when you're not speaking of your position properly? They're not speaking of the position properly. Well, if you don't speak of the position properly, sounds like the position, you're not in that position. People say, "Oh, I'm an executor. I'm the executrix. I'm the what? You're the what? Trustee?" If you're the trustee, are you talking like a trustee? Are you sounding like a trustee? Are you dressing like a trustee? We got trustees talking stuff. It's like, are you dressing the part? You gotta dress the part. You say you in the private. You're not in the public. You think private people dress like public people? See, this is the oh man, don't tell me that, Trust Christian Vote. I didn't really want to hear that information. Private people, they dress like public people, don't they? Aren't they trying to hide out? No, they're not trying to hide out. Are your public officers hiding? No, but they're private. They're public officers. They went from private citizenship to public officer. That's how it works. These dictionaries are annoying. In the 8th edition, this was a gift. And it's still annoying. Just because if you only knew, you need the definitions from like the 5th and the 4th. And these definitions, they're so much easier to get. Whereas if you're dealing with uh, these organizations, the 8th edition is considered to be trash. And that's the bottom line. If you have an 8th edition, you didn't get your money's worth. We promise you that. Just from the fact of going and sitting here looking at it, it's like, yeah, it was a gift, and now you're sitting here looking for words, and they're telling you stupid definitions. When you go to the word commingle in the 8th edition, and this is of the Black's Law for all the ones that don't know, and people want to hit the shortcut, there is no shortcut, because when you go look at commingle in the Black's Law Dictionary, it says commingle in all caps. It's a verb. It's like, well, I thought we were getting a definition. Where's the definition? Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you say, "Oh man, I don't think that. I think everything's on the internet." How's everything on the internet? And they gave you a hardbound dictionary that doesn't even have the full definition of the word right there when you get it. Oh man, but I think I could get everything on the internet. Right. Everything's on the internet. Right. Everything's not on the internet. You're having to sit here and go through a whole daggone situation to look for a word when, in all actuality, commingle's the easy word. It really is. So we can go to Investopedia because this look like this is horrible. Oh boy! If you guys only knew Black's Law Dictionary. This is how Black's Law Dictionary does it. And this is the 8th edition, ladies and gentlemen. We already know we gotta make sure we got at this property. We gotta make sure they get more than this because this is horrible. Nevertheless, even if you're not getting that type of knowledge and you're getting it at an earlier, edition. Now everybody can see the benefit of getting an earlier edition. Yeah, that was wild. They don't even have the full definition here. That was easy. Commingle. You don't want to commingle. Here we go. Commingle, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you all can go get really good, decent definitions uh, what is that? From Investopedia. Investopedia is not a bad website. It's a pretty general definition website. Uh, of course, it's always good to look it up in the legal dictionary. So that's why we were in the legal dictionary. A lot of people say, "Well, what's the most world-renowned dictionary?" Comingle is definitely going to be, uh, one of those things where it's not. It shouldn't just be in a common dictionary. It should be in a financial dictionary that you're looking for it in anyway. So it's definitely, make sure you're looking for it in a financial sense, for sure. And that there you go. Commingle funds for sure is going to be up on Investopedia. So the fund and a portfolio of assets of several accounts are blended together. Commingle funds exist to reduce the cost of managing. Well, okay. If you want to have a pooled fund, not publicly listed, available to individual retail investors. See, sometimes these funds aren't regulated by the SEC. Fair enough. Right, but we're not saying it's the fund. We're talking about trustee don'ts. The don't. Some people come and they say, oh man, well, how do I know it's my money? They hear that? Is it your money? Or they trust funds? Oh man, I didn't know that they were going to be the trust funds once I gave them over. How am I going to pay for a haircut? How am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for this? The company can have a company car. Company can have a company jet. This is going to get the corporate veil pierced. Somebody say, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to really be able to handle this wild ride. What do you mean? So you're not ready to go private. When you're ready to go private, you separate business from personal. This is family business now. Trust business or otherwise, but family business nonetheless. Some people say, can you really separate it? That's the question, is can people really separate their mindset? Not just the funds, but the mindset. Having a servant mentality, a servant leader mentality. Well, if you want to go out there and step out into the wild world of having a pooled fund, go ahead. Have fun out there in the pooled fund. This isn't financial advice or legal advice, but when people want to come with commingling funds and go from a commingle fund to a pooled fund or otherwise, they're going to find out. A pooled fund? Are those investors? Are you an investor as a trustee? See, this is the thing. Are you an investor? See, these are the questions that we ask our trustees, people that inquire into the vault, people that go through the vault. Everything's done on behalf of the fund. What is in the best interest of the fund? We're not touching the fund for any personal money. This is a hard reality to grasp, maybe, for some people. But people that are trust fund babies know all about it. They know all about it. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. This was an easy, quick episode, in and out of there. This is definitely a don't. We're going to double down on the two, get them out of the way, because this was a don't. Well, what is commingling? Once again, is it personal or is it business? This is the easy question you can ask yourself every time you step into these situations. That's what happens every time. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening, replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listen, replay. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and we'll make sure we'll drop the next episode for the second of two trust don'ts. Peace and joy.